I think by this point, a lot of us realize that yes, satellites are above our head, and yes, they are being held up by giant helium filled balloons. NASA even admits this. But I also think there's something else going on up there, and I want to get into it in this video. I want to first give credit where credit is due. My good friend Seven Club in this video started me thinking about this video that I'm going to show you right now. So go give him a follow and especially watch that pinned video. You see, he got me thinking about liquid oxygen, and there's a funny thing about liquid oxygen. It's magnetic.
This is a powerful magnet. If we pour liquid nitrogen between its poles, nothing happens. However, when we pour liquid oxygen between the poles, it is visibly attracted. This indicates that oxygen is magnetic and belongs to the category of paramagnetic substances. If we freeze oxygen into a solid state, it will also be attracted to the magnet like iron.
So with that in mind, let's pretend, just for a minute, that what we're seeing here isn't the Earth rotating, but actually an enclosed system that is rotating around us. And again, let's pretend, just for fun, that the higher you go, the colder things get. And let's pretend that that enclosure above us is so high up that it's cold enough that the oxygen turns either to ice or to liquid. Now let's also pretend, just for a second, that all these SpaceX and NASA rockets that we see supposedly launching satellites into space aren't launching them into space, but maybe just inserting them into that liquid oxygen very high up next to that closed container we're all in. And if liquid oxygen is somehow magnetic, well, we would just need to find some sort of substance or material that would soften the blow and then attract.
This is a strong neodymium magnet, and this is a thick copper plate. Normally, copper is not really very magnetic. It's not really wanting to stick to it, but drop the magnet onto the copper and watch this. I could watch that all day. This is explained by Lenz's law. In the copper, the electrons swirl, and they create their own magnetic field. And the magnetic field of the electrons in the copper opposes the magnetic field that's trying to change them. So the two magnetic fields slow down the magnet.
And then imagine, if you will, that they created a much simpler, easier, cheaper way to shoot things up into the structure that is covering our heads. Again, hypothetical structure. I don't really believe there's a firmament above us. But I guess even if they did manage to shoot these things up into the imaginary dome above our head that just happens to have liquid oxygen right below its surface, they would just sit there. It's not like they would be able to move them around our heads. I mean, for that to happen, there would have to be some sort of, I don't know, like propulsion device or something. But again, this was just all for shits and gigs. I'm a satire account, and this was for entertainment. Because I know there are thousands upon thousands and thousands of satellites in orbit around the circular, spinning globe Earth. Duh. Entertainment only.